Medial compartment of the thigh. The medial compartment of the thigh is also known as adductor compartment. It is well developed. The medial compartment of thigh, it is bounded anteriorly by the anterior intermuscular septum. Posteriorly, it is bounded by the ill-defined posterior intermuscular septum. The muscles of the medial compartment are adductor longus, adductor brevis, adductor longus, adductor brevis. We have gracilis, pectineus and obturator externus. The nerve of the medial compartment is the obturator nerve, and the arteries are profunda femoris artery and obturator artery. The muscles of the medial compartment are arranged in three layers. The anterior layer consists of pectineus, adductor longus and gracilis. The middle layer consists of adductor brevis, and the posterior layer, it consists of the big muscle, that is the adductor magnus. All the muscles of the adductor compartment are supplied by the obturator nerve. Now two muscles of the adductor compartment, that is the pectineus and adductor magnus, these are hybrid muscles, that is they are supplied by the two nerves. The pectineus is supplied by the femoral and the obturator nerve, while as the adductor magnus is supplied by the obturator nerve and tibial part of the sciatic nerve. Now pectineus muscle. Pectineus, it's a flat quadrilateral muscle which lies in the floor of the femoral triangle. It arises from the pecten pubis, upper half of the pectineal surface of superior ramus of the pubis and pectineal fascia. The muscle slopes downwards, backwards and laterally to be inserted along a line extending from the lesser trochanter to upper half of the linea aspera. It is supplied by two nerves, the femoral nerve, which supplies the anterior fibers, and the posterior fibers of the pectineus are supplied by the obturator nerve. Now action of the pectineus, it adducts the thigh at the hip joint. Now after pectineus we have adductor longus. It's a triangular muscle which lies in the same plane as the pectineus. It arises by a rounded tendon from the front of the body of the pubis. The muscle slopes downwards, backwards and laterally to be inserted into the middle one-third of the linea aspera. It is supplied by the anterior division of the obturator nerve. It is a powerful adductor and medial rotator of the thigh at hip joint. Sometimes there is formation of bone in the tendon of origin of the adductor longus, that is mostly seen in the horse riders. That bone is known as rider's bone. Another muscle is the adductor brevis. It is a triangular muscle. It forms the middle part of the muscle groups. It is a triangular muscle which arises from the anterior surface of the body of the pubis and outer surface of the inferior ramus of the pubis. The muscle passes downwards, backwards and laterally to be inserted along a line extending from the lesser trochanter to the upper part of the linea aspera. It is usually supplied by the anterior division of the obturator nerve, but occasionally it may be supplied by the posterior division of the obturator nerve. Now action, it adducts the thigh at the hip joint. That was the adductor brevis. Now after adductor brevis we have another big muscle, that is the adductor magnus. It consists of two parts, adductor part and hamstring part. The adductor part arises from the outer surface of the ischiopubic ramus. The hamstring part arises from the inferior lateral part of the ischial tuberosity. The fibers of the adductor part pass obliquely downwards, backwards and laterally to be inserted in linear fashion into the medial margin of gluteal tuberosity, medial lip of vena aspera and upper part of the medial supracondylar line of the linea up to the adductor hiatus. Now the hamstring part passes vertically downwards to be inserted into the adductor tubercle by a rounded tendon, which sends a fibrous expansion to the lower part of the medial supracondylar line below the hiatus. Now nerve supply, the adductor part, it is supplied by the posterior division of the obturator nerve, while as the hamstring part is supplied by the tibial part of the sciatic nerve. Actions, it causes adduction and medial rotation of the thigh at the hip joint, and the hamstring part, it is a weak extensor of thigh at the hip joint. So it is also a hybrid muscle. After this we have a gracilis muscle. Gracilis means slender. It is a slender muscle which lies on the medial side of the other muscles of the adductor compartment. It is the only muscle of the adductor compartment which is not attached to the femur. It arises from the medial margin of the lower half of the body of the pubis and adjoining anterior part of the inferior pubic ramus. It passes downwards vertically on the medial side of the thigh to the upper part of the medial side of the tibia, where it is inserted between the insertions of the sartorius in front and semitendinosus behind. It is supplied by the anterior division of the obturator nerve. Now actions, it adducts the thigh. In addition, it is a flexor of the knee joint and medial rotator of the leg. Now after this adductor, after the gracilis, we have another muscle of the medial compartment, that is the obturator externus. That is the deepest muscle. It is a fan-shaped muscle lying above and lateral to the pectineus. It is actually not a muscle of the adductor compartment, but is described in the adductor compartment for the convenience. It arises from the outer surface of the anterior half of the obturator membrane and adjoining anterior and inferior margins of the obturator foramen. The fibers converge backwards and laterally to form a tendon which spirals upwards over the inferior and posterior surface of the neck of the femur and inserts into the trochanteric fossa of greater trochanter of the femur. It is supplied by the posterior division of the obturator nerve. It is a lateral rotator of the thigh. Now obturator nerve, it is the chief nerve of the adductor compartment. It is formed by the ventral division of the anterior primary rami of L2, L3 and L4 spinal nerves. It enters the thigh by passing through the obturator canal. It divides into anterior and posterior divisions. The anterior division passes downwards into the thigh in front of the obturator externus. It then descends behind the pectineus and adductor longus and in front of the adductor brevis. The anterior division supplies pectineus, adductor longus, gracilis, and sometimes usually the adductor brevis. The anterior branch also gives an articular tweak to the hip joint. Distal to the adductor longus, it enters the adductor canal while it provides a tweak to the subsartorial plexus of nerves and terminates by supplying the femoral artery in the adductor canal. So that was about the anterior division of the obturator nerve. Now posterior division enters the thigh by piercing the anterior part of the obturator externus, which it supplies. It then descends behind the adductor brevis, and in front of the adductor magnus. So it is between the adductor brevis and the adductor magnus. The posterior, it supplies the obturator externus, which it pierces first, adductor magnus, and sometimes adductor brevis. If adductor brevis is not supplied by the anterior division, it is then supplied by the posterior division. Its terminal part forms an articular branch, that is the genicular branch, which pierces the adductor magnus or passes through hiatus for the femoral vessels to reach the popliteal fossa, while it runs along the popliteal vessels and pierces the oblique popliteal ligament to supply the knee joint. So that was about the posterior division of the obturator nerve. Now important artery, that is the profunda femoris artery. It is also known as deep femoral artery. It is the largest branch of the femoral artery and is the chief source of blood supply to the muscles of all the three compartments of the thigh. It arises from the lateral side of the femoral artery in the femoral triangle, about 4 centimeters below the inguinal ligament. It then passes posteriorly between pectineus and adductor magnus, adductor longus. It descends close to the femur between adductor longus and adductor brevis, then between the adductor longus and adductor magnus. It gives off first 3 perforating arteries and ends as a 4th perforating artery to reach the back of the leg. The branches of the profunda femoris artery, it gives muscular branches, medial circumflex femoral artery, lateral circumflex femoral artery, and 4 perforatory arteries. The muscular branches supply the muscles. Now the medial circumflex femoral artery leaves the femoral triangle by passing posteriorly between the pectineus and psoas major muscles. It passes successfully between the obturator externus and adductor brevis and between the quadratus femoris and upper border of adductor magnus. This medial circumflex femoral artery gives of transverse and ascending branches. The transverse branch takes in the formation of cruciate anastomosis. The ascending branch passes to the trochanteric fossa and takes part in the formation of trochanteric anastomosis. The acetabular branch of the medial circumflex femoral artery arises before the terminal branches and enters the acetabulum through the acetabular notch deep to the transverse acetabular ligament. The branches of the medial circumflex femoral artery pass through the capsule of the hip joint to supply head and neck of the femur. So medial circumflex femoral artery is very important because it supplies most of the blood to the head and neck of the femur by its posterior retranacular branches. Now, after medial circumflex femoral artery, we have lateral circumflex femoral artery. It's the largest branch of the profunda femoris artery. It runs laterally between the anterior and posterior divisions of the femoral nerve and divides into ascending, transverse and descending. Ascending, transverse and descending uh, branches. The ascending and transverse branch take part in the cruciate anastomosis on the back of the thigh. Now the descending branch runs downwards along the anterior border of the vastus lateralis and takes part in the anastomosis around the knee. Now perforating branches are four in number. They are numbered from above downwards as first, second, third and fourth. The fourth one is the continuation of the profunda femoris artery. The profunda femoris artery is of great clinical importance because it is deeply located and lies in close relation to the femoral shaft. Hence, it is prone to injury in the fracture of the femoral shaft. Thank you very much.